What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm Paul. This is Pauline Theology's Daily Devotional, man, and we're going through the book of John. And in the last session, we kind of talked about the nature of prophecy. But in this one, we're going to continue back into the final discourse, the farewell discourse of Jesus as he's speaking to his disciples and he's telling them the last things so that he might be, they'd be prepared for what's about to go down. So since we talked about the nature of kind of prophecy and types, and I hope that helped a little bit to help you read the scriptures more informed so that you can understand them better. But we're going to see the reason why Jesus told them this. He doesn't say anything out of, arbitrarily. He always says something has a reason for it and he has a purpose for it. And so we're going to see what that is here as he continues to speak with the disciples. He says, so if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and stop the tape. It's John chapter 13, 18. John chapter 13, 19. I'm sorry. John chapter 13, verse 19. If you have already read the scripture, then we're going to go ahead and dive in. What's being said in this one verse? Well, it says, I tell you these things so that you might know and that you would believe that I am. Now, earlier in a couple of episodes, I talked about how Jesus is going to reveal himself as the great I am, that he's going to reveal himself and speak in a way in which John writes many times using that emphatic pronoun, because we talked about in Greek that you don't necessarily need the pronoun to understand who is speaking by the nature of the verb being used. Well, again, Jesus does this and says, ego eimi, speaking to them to refer to himself as I am, the name of God, Yahweh, the one who speaks from Isaiah, mainly when he says, so that you may know that I am, many times throughout that book, that prophetic book, but then also the divine name in the book of Exodus as Yahweh proclaims himself to Moses as I am. And so Jesus uses this term when he speaks. He says, I'm telling you about these prophetic things through scripture that reveals who I am. He says, so that you might know that I am. Wow. Jesus revealing himself as the great I am. So what is this saying about God? Well, first off, it says Jesus is God. That in his statements in this, he's not being super ambiguous. You could claim to see these things or read into them, but I think it is the author and Jesus himself who have displayed the use of this term in such a way that we can understand that is how he is using it. He says, because you would believe that I am. You would believe, that you would trust, and you would find your security in the fact and the knowledge of knowing that I am Yahweh. He's like, because all these things are happening, they're all coming together in such a way that it is revealing to the disciples his true nature. And we're going to continue to see that as he begins to speak with his disciples about who he is, what he's doing, his relationship with the Father, his relationship with them, and their relationship with him and the world. And this is just the start. So what is it saying about God is that Jesus is the great I am. And second, that he is revealing himself, that he has not made himself unknown, that he is desiring to show his self to us. And that leads us into thinking about, what does this say about man? The third question. And it says that we are being revealed the glory of God, that we are being shown who God is through Jesus. We are being shown the nature of Yahweh in Jesus. And we've got to recognize that. And that's the application, is, are we recognizing that? Are we seeing that? And how is God speaking to you through it? Like, are you looking at the revealed Jesus and then seeing how his life should compare to ours and how we should walk based upon the understanding that we have of who he is? and what he's called us to do. As we've read up to this part about the things of being a servant and to serving the world and being served by Jesus, who in turn allows us to serve, have we been taking that in, seeing what he has to say through that, and then acting upon it? Hey, I appreciate you guys for listening, and I will see you in the next episode.